So I was meaning to do this entire video earlier in the day, but I just got so upset over the topic at hand because basically earlier this week there was a woman that had an incident at PAX East, which was last weekend, and so she wrote a blog post about it, and I linked the blog post down in the description section so you can read it. She's updated it since then, but it's really disheartening to think that so many people think that as cosplayers and as women in general that we're okay with being objectified, particularly if we're wearing a sexy costume. And the problem is it's not okay. It's not okay to say comments to women about them being sexy, about objectifying them. Women dress sexy because it makes them feel powerful. It's not so people can appreciate their body, it's because it makes them feel awesome. And that's the point also of cosplaying, is it makes you feel great about yourself. But to have people objectify your body and to make it less about how cool your costume is or how well of a job you did, it suddenly becomes about the commenters' sex drive and their thoughts about you. And that's not appropriate at all. That's not appropriate in any public setting. Whether you're wearing a costume, whether you're in a workplace, it doesn't matter when that happens. And we were having this very long discussion on Gamers with Jobs, which that conversation is also linked down there. It's a very long thread, and it kind of got ugly at a couple points. But the problem is that there are so many males out there that have a problem empathizing with women and the fact that we get objectified every day, and that they don't see that in their comments, in their compliments that they think are compliments towards us. They just see that, hey, she's hot, I should let her know. And, that's not always an okay thing to let a girl know that she's sexy, because that doesn't always imply the right intentions. And so what happened with the woman from PAX East, she was with a bunch of cosplayers who were dressed as Lara Croft. And while Lara in past games has been sexualized and has been taken as a sexual character, in this game she's clearly not. She's a motherfucking badass like Black Widow and Zoe Washburn, and pretty much every awesome female action hero and just female badass out there. And Lara Croft is a badass because she's an archaeologist, she's incredibly smart. Like, she is probably one of the greatest people you could ever look up to because she's so awesome. But years and years of her being overly sexualized, and this happens in every industry, including comic books, we see it all the time, that it's just so frustrating and disheartening to know that people still see her as an overly sexual character, and she's not, because she's so much more than tits and ass. And people forget that real women are more than just their bodies. There is a lot about women that people forget, that we are so much more than that, and that's what people cling to, is our bodies. And because we've always been objectified and basically been more or less public property for people to be able to compliment on or comment on about anything. And this really strikes close to home, particularly because I'm leaving for SakuraCon in about 6 hours. So I was literally so upset I had to take 2 hours to just focus my thoughts before I could actually do this video. And anyway, I'm going to SakuraCon to cosplay, and it was just one of those things that I needed to get off my chest, is that I really wish that as a culture we need to stop letting it be okay to objectify women, because it should just not be okay in any culture whatsoever. So anyway, stay excellent, don't forget to be awesome. If you've ever been to a convention, comment below, because I'm really curious what convention you've been to and where it is. And if you've had any cool experiences at them. See you all next week.